I've been playing soccer since I was 6 years old. My parents signed me up for it, the little grass league where you go around and kick it. And really, I never stopped. It was so much fun, and I just kept doing it. And every year it became more and more competitive and more fun. And once I was around 10, I knew it was definitely what I wanted to do.
Soccer is such a great sport for youth athletes to play growing up because it does build community. If you look at it worldwide, it's called the beautiful game for a reason. And, that's because it builds a lot of camaraderie, builds community, builds brotherhood. And even as a young child myself, experiencing that is something that would always push every child to experience.
So beforehand, when at that young age, it was all about skills and being the smartest, being the quickest with your feet, being the one that can see the most. And that was always what I focused on. That's what I tried to make sure I excelled at. And then as you get older, these things like physical ability, speed, strength, these things they push you, and all of a sudden it's not what it used to be. The same tricks and the same vision, it's not enough anymore. And that speed and that strength, those are two big things that without them, you kind of start to feel like you're falling behind, or that you're not enough anymore. And it's just you have to try and find a way to get better.
Staying ahead of that curve with competitiveness as it grows by age, it's kind of two-sided of the same coin. The first aspect is giving yourself some grace. At the end of the day, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail, you're going to have face adversity. But during those times, you also have the second side, which, have some grit, have some determination, some diligence to push through those obstacles and just keep growing as an athlete.
The way I approached soccer definitely had to change because, like I said, the skill level was starting to increase on the physical and speed aspect. So I had to find a way to increase that. And I haven't always been the best with working out by myself and, doing my own drills and finding my own regimen, because I'd never done it before. Working out was like this new thing to me. So that's when we kind of sought out PFP, and that's how we really found it. They offered specialized programs, and they offered ways to get stronger and get quick, adhering to your sport and all that. And that's why we chose to come here.
When I first met JD, because he was here before I came in. So when I remember coming in the coach and seeing him, and I could tell right away he was a heck of an athlete. But I also could tell that there's areas that he was trying to work on, especially the mindset aspect. So seeing him grow in that as I met him at that time was a really cool thing to see.
Initially, getting stronger and getting better was, right away I started to see it, because coming into work out, I didn't know much about working out, and I didn't know much about the types of workouts we'd be doing. And some of them seemed weird. Some of them seemed like, how's this making me stronger? But instantly, the second it came down to going back out on the field and going back to these club teams and these high school teams, I noticed myself being stronger, faster, catching up with everybody. It was hard going in to PFP every week, and it was hard going into practice same days, same weeks, but it was so worth it when I was seeing the results. Every practice, every game, just slowly getting better and better.
So at the end of the day, every athlete will receive a custom workout, and that's kind of based on the exercise choice. So say a football athlete who's throwing a little more will get different exercise choices than a soccer athlete. However, even if they have the same exercise, we can always tweak it to that individual. For example, JD, something we've worked out with him a lot is how his feet contact the ground. So working on keeping his feet nice and solid compared to, say, a football athlete who might have tight hips. We might focus on that same exercise, tweaking it so his hips are hitting a different angle and making it more individualized to each athlete.
So when it came to the mindset side of things, every workout, it was, bring the class together, sit down for 5 minutes or so, and just talk about a different subject every week about the mental aspect of working out and playing sports. And that mental aspect, I hadn't really touched on it much at all. And when, some weeks it would be simple stuff like, here's 3 steps to help you stay motivated before a game, or some weeks it would be really just in-depth stuff about thinking about your future, thinking about your past, and thinking about how to balance all the different thoughts that are going through in life in general, not just sports. And that was really impactful, especially, these talks would happen, you do your workout and you go home and you'd still be thinking about it. And that felt really special, and that felt really important.
The mindset aspect of training is so vital just as much as the physical aspect, because you don't want to have an athlete or a person in general who's progressing physically, but their mind isn't prepared for adversity, isn't prepared for obstacles. And, they might be put in a position on the field where they excel physically, but then they might crumble mentally. And especially for an elite athlete, or really any person in general trying to hit the next level, they have to have both sides of the mind and the physical.
To be honest, when I first, when reflecting on this journey, it comes back to when I first started noticing the people that were faster and stronger than me, bigger than me, and, they were the same age as me, they'd gone through the same amount of life as me, and they were stronger, they were faster, and I was like, well, what am I doing wrong that hasn't led me to that? And when I joined PFP and when I got stronger and when I got faster, I realized that's what they were doing before, they were working out, and now I am, and now I feel prepared, because as I'm going through these college searches and going to these ID camps, and soccer is getting more and more competitive, I'm seeing that if I hadn't decided to get stronger and decided to get faster and come into PFP, I would be just so far behind. And it's helped, and it's made things a lot better for me.
JD, you're very hardworking. You have the confidence, you have the skill set, the speed, the strength, the mental aspect of the game to excel at the next level. So all it is about now is just being aggressive, giving yourself grace when you do fail, know your body, recover when you need to recover, but really focus on that aggressive aspect. Go for what you want, go hard at it. Even if that means recovering, go hard at recovery. If that means doing the extra fitness and practice, do the extra fitness, and be the athlete who stands out in every aspect.